Hiya my friends, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Amy and I am a cruelty-free makeup enthusiast. So in today's video, I figured I would do a little bit of fall favorites. It still is technically fall until December 23rd, I think. That's when the winter solstice is. So I never really did like a favorites and fails for September, October, November. So this is kind of like all encompassing those months. So I do have favorites and I do have some fail products here. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's talk about the bad first. Let's get that out of the way. So these, I wanted to like them, and when I first tried one I thought I did like it, and so I bought two more. These are the Physicians Formula Murumuru Butter Lippies, and they're the SPF 15, and I have all these different shades. I have Guava, Brazilian Nut, and Mauvin to Brazil, and in theory, I would really like these because I really like the Murumuru Butter line from Physicians Formula, but these are almost too creamy, and I love a good creamy lip product. The problem is the Murumuru just makes everything melt. I don't know if you can see that right here at the top, that whenever you just hit just the slightest bit of warmth, these just kind of melt and kind of just chunk off. And oh, we have a little visitor. Hello, Mittens. Do you guys want to say hi to my kitty Mittens? Hi. Say hi. Hi, everybody. Hello. These Murumuru Lip Butters feel great initially when you first apply them, but the problem is that they just slide all around on the lips. They kind of just chunk off, as you can see here. The moment they hit any kind of heat, they just melt too much and they don't stay on. They slide all around the face, they get on your teeth, on your chin, and for me it's just not worth it. If I just want a little bit of a wash of color, I don't want it to be dangerous while wearing them and fear that it's going to get all over my face. So these are a definite fail. If you want something that has a sheer wash of color but that is super moisturizing, I really recommend the Tarte, what are these called? The lip splashes, I believe. These are really nice, and they're normally on sale too, so if you can get them at half price, I highly recommend that. Some more fails are unfortunately some hair products from Cake Beauty, and that is the Do Gooder Dry Shampoo and the Locksmith Dry Conditioner. I again really wanted to like these. I have a lot of stuff from Cake that I really like, including a lot of body lotions that I really enjoy. Unfortunately, these just did not work out for me. The dry shampoo is okay. It's not as good as my Dry Bar one. That is my absolute favorite. This one took a little bit of oils out, but I just didn't see enough to want to repurchase this. Secondly, the Locksmith. This is supposed to be luster boosting, softening. This dry conditioner weighed down my hair and made it look really oily and stringy. So I thought I was actually being very gentle with the application, you know, be very sparingly with the application, but it just made my hair really oily, and for that reason I am not going to keep using this. I'm almost done with this, so I'll use what I have left, but this is just going to go to a coworker because I can't. All right, so now on to my favorites. I actually have a favorite makeup wipe that I have discovered, and that is the Pacifica Balancing Hemp. It looks like this. It has the little hemp, little marijuana leaves on it. This is actually really nice. It's super like gentle, and it takes off a lot of my makeup. It also has coconut, lavender, and aloe in it, so it's super soothing and gentle, and I've just had a lot of good experience with this. This is my third package that I've actually purchased, and I will continue to repurchase this because I think it is really good. I do have some brow products here. This is the Colourpop Brow Boss in Ash Brown. This is a really good pencil. This is probably just as good as the Anastacio Brow Wiz, and I am just really impressed by this. The pencil tip is pretty micro fine, so you could get into those really sharp details, and it's easy to fill in. It's super easy to just drag across the brow bone, and then the spoolie is really good too. I like that it's dual-sided like that. And the Brow Boss gel that came with it, this is the clear one. This is actually pretty good too. It holds the eyebrows in place. You could get a nice brush. You could get a pretty good amount of volume with this. So this is definitely a win in my opinion. And I would be happy to repurchase this because this is pretty affordable. And again, it's a lot less expensive than the Anastasia. Now on to some lip products. This bullet lipstick is a tried and true lipstick. This is the Hiya bullet lipstick and Madame Mina. So they had a whole line that was inspired by Dracula characters, and I have used this so many times on my channel and in my Instagram feed. This is just a nice mid-toned rosy shade that just glides right on. It's super moisturizing. I think it's flattering on all different kinds of skin tones. And as you can see, I've actually used this up a lot. I think that in the next couple of months, I could probably actually use this product up, but it has been such a good lipstick to me. I have loved it. I always get compliments when I wear it, and it is a perfect lipstick for the fall time. Keeping along with that hemp theme, like with Pacifica wipes, with these lipsticks, these are actually the Lip Glazes from Lime Crime. So this shade is Jade, and this darker one is Cali. And I really like these because they're super comfortable on the lips. They feel very, very moisturizing, and I just really enjoy them. They don't dry down to that kind of like crusty matte that you feel like the life is getting sucked out of your lips. And I really appreciate that they have a range of nude shades for all different kinds of skin tones. Let's get into some face products now. So I have to talk about the Anastasia Loose Setting Powder. Guys, this is the best powder I've ever tried in my entire life. It is so good, and it's totally worth the price. It's so finely milled. It just blends seamlessly onto the skin. It sinks into the skin. It doesn't look cakey. It doesn't look heavy. Mine is in the shade Vanilla, and I just absolutely love it. This is a huge component as well. It's pretty big. And let's see, how much product do you get in this? So it's 25 grams of product, so you get a pretty good amount in here. I really, really like it. I highly recommend. Again, it's probably the best powder I've ever tried. On to a highlighter. So I finally tried out Colourpop's highlighter in Flexitarian, and this is a white champagne shade. It is so beautiful. I first discovered this because Jay Kissa used to talk about it all the time, and it is just so smooth. I don't know what took me so long to try this formula from Colourpop. This is the Super Shock Cheek, and it is just so beautiful. Look at that color. It's so easy to apply, and it is blinding. I just sometimes just take a swipe of my finger, blend it on top, and I am good to go. This is a beautiful, bouncy formula. I think it looks good on all different kinds of skin types, and if you're looking for an affordable, creamy type of highlighter, this one is the one to go for. I also have a product that surprised me because 2019 was the year of foundations. There were so many foundations that I tried, and most recently there's been one that's actually really impressed me, and that is the RMS Uncover Up Cream Foundation. This is actually really good, guys. I'm wearing it right now. I think my skin looks pretty darn good. I keep on getting compliments on my skin every time I wear this. When I put it on, at first when you blend it out, it's kind of heavy and thick and the color's a little off. But once it sinks into the skin, I think it just gives such a beautiful, healthy glow to the skin. And I really, really like this. I love that it's such a clean formula and something that's really nice in the winter time that's going to moisturize the skin. So again, I really think this is a hit. I've loved a ton of foundations this year. This is just the most recent one that I've been loving. But again, I really highly recommend if you want to try a cleaner foundation, this is definitely a good one to try out. We probably have my favorite part of this whole video, and that is the palettes that I've been loving this fall. There's a bunch of them. So some of these are actually not completely new. I'm going to start off with the oldest one because this is something that I'm really late in the game to, and that's the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. I remember when this came out and I was like, ugh, it's a boring neutral palette. I don't need it. It's boring. And I never bought it. And then I saw a friend apply this to another friend of mine on her wedding day, and I just thought it looked so beautiful. So I ended up caving and picking this up. And I wore this during a show that I recently was performing in, and I just think it is beautiful. I wore this for about 12 days in a row, and I loved every single look that I got with this. As you can see, I've dipped into it pretty well. I just think this is such a beautiful, beautiful eyeshadow palette, and I love Anastasia eyeshadow. So I think that this is like typical Anastasia formula. It's good, it's quality, it's easy to work with. The colors just work so well together. This shade Orange Soda in the crease is just so good to start as a transition shade, and the sparkly shade, like this shade Rose Pink, is beautiful. Sultry and Bronze are just, oh, just look how beautiful those are. I love wearing these. Like, this is what I want from a metallic. Beautiful. The next is a really, really tiny but adorable palette. This is Too Faced Hot Buttered Rum, and this is so cute. I cannot deal. And also, it's a really good formula because Too Faced eyeshadows for me recently have been very hit or miss. Sometimes I find that they don't have the longevity that they used to, and by the end of the day I have a lot of creasing despite using my normal eyeshadow primer. But this is a really good formula. This little tiny thing is so wonderful. Like, if you ever travel, this is great. Or if you just want less things to pick from, but that you could pick out a really cute eye look from this, this is a really good palette. I love a lot of these shades here. In particular, this kind of bronzy shade in the center is so beautiful. I also love this highlighter shade at the top corner here, and they are just stunning. These are really great colors. I also love this mustard shade. I don't know, would you call that a mustard? I guess that's more of like a butter shade right here in the corner, and this red is really beautiful. This brown has shimmer in it, which is really, really stunning, and the shimmer stays in even though it's like a more of a matte shade. So let me just show you. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Beautiful, right? So cute for this time of year. And I just think that if you're in a pinch and you have to run and get out the door and you need something quick, having a palette small like this can do wonders. It takes the guesswork out of, you know, selecting from a really big palette. And I think Too Faced should do more of these. I would definitely scoop them up because I really enjoy this one. I have two Colourpop palettes next. So the first one I have was a CVS exclusive, and now they've actually moved it over to Ulta's site as well. This is the Truly Madly Deeply palette, and look how pretty it is. It's mauvey, it's rosy, it's got shimmer, it's got glitter, it's just everything that's so beautiful. Now, I really, really like these shades, especially down here. I love Mr. Sandman, and I love Too Much right here. So pretty. Let me show those to you. You see that? Oh, I'm just like so into these cool tones recently, and I just think these are beautiful. So I was really glad that I picked this palette up. I know that Colourpop has been releasing so much, but this one is just really, really pretty. I'm glad that it's a bestseller. This is in the same packaging as the, what is it called? The Through My Eyes palette. I think I want to, that's what that is, yeah. It has this really, really soft texture to it, and almost like a bouncy texture, but it's just really, really beautiful. And I just love the different shades in here. I love that you have the pinks, the purples, you have a little bit of peach in here, and it's just such a good cohesive palette, and it goes so well together, and you can definitely dress it up or dress it down. So I really, really like this one, and I'm really happy I got it, even though I have too many palettes. The next Colourpop palette is the Kathleenlights So Jaded palette. Originally, when I first saw this, I went, oh no, Colourpop, don't become Morphe. I can't. This is actually not as big as a Morphe palette. I can tell you that much. It's a lot smaller than people think it is. I love this palette. Kathleenlights just does such good collaborations. This is my first like collab of hers that I've actually gotten, because this jewel toned palette is everything. From fall, it's going to transition beautifully into winter. I like it too because I can see quads of color in here, and the way that they've put these colors together is so smart. So if you look at this, right, look at those four here. If I were to block this out, those go together, those go together, those go together. And the same thing when you kind of go down, there's just like, my eyes get drawn, especially to these green shades over here. Like these colors just play so beautifully together, and it makes it so easy to work with because the colors that are complementary to one another are next to one another. So the guesswork is taken out of working with this palette. I love that it's the cardboard. I love that there's not this, I mean, I don't mind a mirror, but it reduces the cost by not having a giant mirror in here. So I definitely think if you want a palette that has colors in it, but you're too afraid to play with like really bright colors, this is a beautiful option. Again, love the jewel tones. It's so, what's the word I'm trying to think of? It's just so on trend. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just very on trend with the jewels, and I love the packaging of this too. But if I were to just pick one Colourpop palette to purchase this whole season, like if you're just gonna pick one, this is it. And now last but not least, we are going to talk about the final palette, which I said I would not buy. But I caved because I could not stand it. It was just calling to me because it was the autumnal palette of my wants, desires, color story of my dreams, and that is the ABH Noir Vina Pro Pigment Volume 3 palette. So now, here's what I'm gonna just preface this by. I do not like the way that they released these palettes. I loved the Jackie Aina palette. I have that too. Oh, I should have put this in this video, but it's fine. We'll talk about it another time. I felt like ABH didn't allow each palette to have a moment. When they released Volume 1, I thought, okay, Volume 1's gonna come out now. Volume 2 will come out maybe in 3 months, and then another 3 months, Volume 3 will come out. And that didn't happen. They pushed Volume 1, so everyone ran out and bought it, thinking that, oh, we'll have time before 2 and 3 come out. And then within a couple of weeks, they dropped 2 and 3. 2 didn't really interest me, but 3, I just could not pass this up. This is a beautiful palette. First of all, it's got the butterflies on it too, but it's really what's on the inside is what makes it spectacular. So this is the color story, and it's so pretty, and every time I wear this, I just get the prettiest looks. You can go really subtle and you can have a lot of impact. You can go any which way you want with this palette. The colors, again, are very complementary to one another. This is the palette that really just screamed to me, very interesting color story. So if you are going to pick up one of the Anastasia Pro Pigment palettes, this one is my favorite. I just think that the shades blend so easy. They're very typical Anastasia formula. It looks like a Natasha Denona palette, but the pigment is there, I have to say. Let me just swatch a couple of some of my favorites for you. So I really like, for transition shades, I like to go into a 3. And then for like kind of deeper, getting into those purpley shades, I like C4. For a brighter shade, like a punch of maybe orange, but like a sunset kind of orange, I go into A2, and the pigment is there, and it's totally worth the price in my opinion, because these are pretty pricey. These are $60, but I think these are really, really, really good quality. See that? Sorry, my finger kind of slid right there. But again, really, really great colors. The only thing that they're not as strong as is the shimmer shades, I think, but the majority of this palette is matte. So despite my gripes with Anastasia and how they're handling releases lately, which I think is dumb, it's like, let something have its moment and let people enjoy it, but I'm not a professional marketing person for these makeup brands, so I guess what do I know? But I do really, really think this is a beautiful palette. Let's talk about some fashion and clothing items. So I have this jacket. Oh, this jacket is so lovely. This is a brown or caramel colored bomber. This is faux suede, so it's fake suede. And this is from the Loft, and it is so soft and so beautiful, and it's so cool for the fall time. So I am so happy that I got this because I think it just looks so nice with so many outfits, and whenever it was just like a chilly cool day, you just top this on top of it, and I think it just wore so well, and I'm glad that I picked this up because I've always wanted a cruelty-free bomber style jacket, and I finally found one. Last but not least, we have two pairs of shoes, and they're actually both from Old Navy, and they are both also cruelty-free, so no animal products used in these. One are these ankle boots. So they're super cute because the front of them is a faux suede, and then the back of them is a faux leather with the zips in the back. And they're just so nice because you can dress these up, dress these down. I've worn them to work, date night. I think they're super versatile, and then black, of course, goes with everything. The second pair that I have is so cute. These are these taupe ankle booties, and they have the zips actually on the side. And again, these go with anything. So if I just need a boot that's not black, this is something that I go to. I love the little wooden heels that these have. And again, they're a faux suede, so they can be out in the rain or in the snow and they won't get destroyed. So I really like these. And if you could get them on sale at Old Navy, you can get them like 40 to 50% off. Alrighty, my lovelies, that is it for this favorites and fails of the past couple of months. I hope you enjoyed it. Have you tried any of these products or fashion items? I would love to know. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. And always remember to stay compassionate and chic. Until next time, guys. Bye.